What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So there's been a video that's going around showing Ken Paxton. It looks like he's in a shuttle at an airport, and he puts his hand on a lady's shoulder. It's not his wife. And so technically his wife filed for divorce already, so I guess they're separated. I don't know. Obviously, this is a bad look for Ken Paxton, but that isn't the scandal. I have another video clip to show you that really will hurt Ken Paxton. This, we'll take a look, we'll talk about it. But this other video is a video that Texas voters are just not going to like. So we're going to focus on all that in this video. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video. If you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, I said video a lot, just in the last couple of sentences there, but nonetheless, and so it's pretty self-explanatory what's going on in this video. It looks like he's in a shuttle at an airport or something. He puts his hand on this lady, and then he realizes that someone is recording him, and you see his response. He takes his hand down really quickly. That pretty much gives it away. If he didn't have that response, people probably wouldn't have even looked more into it. And so his response shows it all. Ken Paxton, I mean, some politicians, I won't just say Ken Paxton, but some politicians, it's kind of expected. I mean, this is not a big scandal because it's expected. And that's really unfortunate because in the past, this would have derailed a politician's career. But in this day and age, this is kind of I don't want to say the norm, but it's not really outside of the norm. I mean, we see politicians doing things like this all the time and even worse. And so we'll just have to see where it goes when it comes to that. But as I stated, this isn't the video clip that I think will really hurt Ken Paxton. I'm going to show that clip. He was interviewed, and this is what he said.
I love like Jackson Hole. Okay. I like Park City. I like the mountains. And I also like, beaches. I like places in Florida. I like places in California, even though I don't like to admit that I go to California, but it's beautiful. They have some just Laguna Beach, that area. I love going there during the summer when it's 108 here in Texas.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about that? I mean, he's talking a little bit about Florida, but he's also talking about California. I believe he's from California, but and I live in California, and he's right. Laguna Beach is very nice. And so this is the type of stuff that I think will really hurt him. The fact that he's talking about California, that he likes going to California when it's hot in Texas, it almost gives me, reminds me of Ted Cruz leaving when during, I believe it was a hurricane or something. He left and went to Mexico on a trip. And then Ted Cruz blamed it on his daughter. So, I mean, stuff like this, Texas voters will look at this and say, you know what? This guy, he's not a real Texan. He likes going to California. So what is this going to do to voters? How are they going to feel? Are they going to be energized? And that's what I've been talking about when it comes to Texas. Are voters going to be energized to go out and vote for Ken Paxton? Because we know when it comes to Talarico, you have a certain energy behind him. You have people that are coming out, people that haven't voted in past elections. They're coming out and they're voting for Talarico. Will Ken Paxton get some of that same energy? He's not going to get it if you're seeing him in video clips with, not with his wife, and you're seeing him talk about California, traveling to California and traveling to Florida, places outside of Texas. He's not, you're going to have some Texans that are going to look at this and say, I don't like Talarico, but I'm just not, I don't like Paxton either, so I'm not going to vote. And that ultimately is going to hurt Paxton. And how are independent voters going to respond to this? And let's look at some of the latest polls. So, and I showed this before, we don't have anything really new. I mean, the last poll that we have here, this is that University of Texas poll that was posted on 6/23/2026, 1,200 registered voters. Margin of error there, plus or minus 2.8%. It's showing Talarico at 42%. It's showing Paxton at 43%. And it's showing other at 15%. And so you see the race is very close. And like I was saying in the previous video, right here you had both candidates, and this was a Texas Southern University poll. You have both candidates at 45, and then we're seeing this kind of zigzag back and forth. So maybe we can anticipate the next poll being showing that Talarico is slightly ahead. Now, it's worth mentioning that most of these polls fall within that margin of error, so there's no clear leader. And so that's something that we're seeing here. The race is so close that Texas right now should be considered a toss-up because we don't really have a poll that's showing us that that Paxton is way ahead or that Talarico is way ahead. Then when we look at the prediction market, it's showing us Ken Paxton 57 and it's showing us Talarico 42. This is probability again, so just understand 57, that might look a little bit higher than what it actually is because 50-50 would be that toss-up category. So 57 is a little bit above that. So Ken Paxton does have an advantage, but not a huge advantage, even in the prediction market. So what do you guys think? How is this new video clip showing Ken Paxton with another woman? Do you think that's going to impact his chances? And then this California video clip. What do you think about that? Him talking about California, how he likes to go to California in the summer because it's nicer than being in Texas. Let me know what you guys think about that. And I recently posed this question to you, and it says, which state would be the biggest Senate surprise in 2026? And the response here, there was 745 people who participated in this poll. Iowa got 20%, Texas got 67%, Alaska got 3%, Ohio got 9%. And I would agree with you when it comes down to it. Now, I would actually say Iowa, to me, would be the bigger surprise because right now I think Iowa is leaning for Republicans. And I would say Texas is more in that toss-up category. And so if we saw Democrats actually win in Iowa, I think that would be a bigger surprise. But I do agree, Texas would be a big surprise because Texas isn't a given. Even though I'm saying it's a toss-up, I think Ken Paxton right now, he still does have a slight advantage. And looking at some of the latest little things that are going on, is that going to impact his race? Is that going to impact his numbers? But I just thought it was interesting just to see how you guys feel about these different states, these battleground states. And yes, a lot of you are saying that Texas would be a big surprise. And not only would Texas be a big surprise, but Texas, if we see Democrats win in Texas, if Talarico wins in Texas, we're probably looking at a blue wave in November because there are some other states that Democrats have a better chance of winning. So if we see that Talarico wins in Texas, that could be indicative of what we're going to see all over the U.S. And so I think it's important to note that. So now I want to pass it off to you. What do you guys think about all this? What do you think about the video clips? What do you think about the poll here? And remember, if you guys want to participate in the polls, I put them out at least one a day. So make sure you go over to the community tab and you can participate in those polls. But ultimately, I want to know what you guys think about the Texas Senate race overall. Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more. And remember, stay informed, stay engaged, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.